Hey Red Chippers, Zac Shaw here from Strategy in Action, studying to beat 1-2 no limit. Every month I bring you a new episode, a new article chronicling my mission to beat 1-2, build a big bankroll of $6,000 in less than 2 years. And how's it going? It's going pretty good. Last session we had a little bit of a life tilt situation, but we've moved beyond that. We're headed to Vegas in a few weeks, and I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of you folks out there that I've met in the forums or have just been lurking around on Red Chip. We have a great community of players. It's one of the hugest reasons why I'm so motivated to do this project and to get better at playing poker. I have all of you guys to thank for your kind words and your support, your help in analyzing hands, and your gentle ribbing in the forum. So thank you for that. We are going out to Vegas. We're going to be playing in a couple of crazy games. One of the games is going to be a game featuring other Red Chip players as well as coaches in Vegas after our meetup buffet, and that's going to be insane and a lot of fun, I think, because everyone's just going to be there to have a good time. And ironically, while everyone's going to have to be playing very strategically, it's also probably going to be one of those situations where people are way more focused on having fun than playing strategically correct to the T. And that is going to continue with our party bus to LA the following day, where we're going to go to Live at the Bike and actually play in a live stream with all of the awesome people out there at Live at the Bike. You probably, like me, you watch Live at the Bike all the time. You might have seen our training videos around actual Live in the Bike sessions if you're a Red Chip Pro. It's just so much fun. The characters there are great. And it's the biggest poker game I've ever played, in a 2-3 game where I hear the buy-in's going to be around $500. Wow, I mean, that is like a quarter, a fifth of my bankroll. So from that perspective, Bankroll Management probably not so hot, but it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and I can't wait to go. That said, I'm taking it very seriously. I do actually want to have fun and additionally play good poker and win money. I'm also planning on playing some kind of side sessions as time permits while I'm out in Vegas. So how do I do this in a way where I feel super confident, especially coming off of a $300 loss? The answer is simple: volume. So I'm going to put in a ton of volume, and that's exactly what I did. I got hooked up with online poker. It was really easy this time around. Ironically, easier to get hooked up with online poker in a state that doesn't officially sanction it. All you have to do, you get your Visa card, you buy some Bitcoin on Coinbase. They just enabled this feature, so it's super easy to get Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes right into your the cashier at the online poker site, and you're done. You've got your money in there and you're playing. And what did I learn over those 1,000 hours? Well, for number one, I learned that online poker is just the best study tool in the world. You got your Hold'em Manager, which just sucks out all of the stats. Your poker tracker gives you the HUD, and all of a sudden you know everything that you're doing at the table. So you can also mark hands as they go down and say, oh, that was a weird hand, I'm going to study that later. Sit down away from the live table and take your time and analyze your hands. So from that perspective, it has just revolutionized my study. Now I'm able to get enormous amounts of volume in. I put in 1,000 hands since the last episode. These were all at 5 cent, 10 cent, so I am playing that level to kind of make it so that the money doesn't matter and I can kind of try some things out. And what I learned, though, is that I play online so much more aggressively than I do live, and I guess that's not a huge surprise because online kind of distances you from the game a little bit. You feel more emboldened to make aggressive plays, but I'm way more aggressive. My VPIP was up there around like 25, 26, and I was just throwing in 3-bet bluffs and going nuts. And the crazy thing is for the most part, they worked. Now, when they didn't work, I identified a key problem, and a huge blind spot in my game is hand reading. Because really, when you're talking about aggressive play, I feel like you need to be talking about hand reading in addition to looking at all the other things like player types and bet sizing, which are things that I pay a lot of attention to. But I realized, especially in light of Splitsuit coming out with his hand reading lab, which everyone is going nuts over, it's just one of those dark arts of poker that there's not a whole lot of good information out there about how to hand read. And from what I've gathered so far about Splitsuit's lab, he really sets up a nice process that you can kind of run, and then he makes it so that it's really dynamic. You can get away from those starting hand charts in your beginner's poker book and start to really make decisions on the fly. So I'm looking forward to digging into his hand reading lab between now and Vegas, and hopefully applying those ninja hand reading skills to outwit the coaches and the other awesome Red Chip players down in Vegas. Other than that, I'm going to be headed down to the casino in about a week to get my live poker game on, to get warmed up for this Vegas trip. It's going to be my last live cash session before I go down. I'm going to try and make it a long one and a profitable one. We'll see. I'm definitely not going to tilt it off like I did the last time. And I'm going to really focus on building that bankroll up, because come Vegas, come a few weeks, I'm going to need every last cent of it to survive. Now, it's going to be interesting after Vegas to see what happens. Maybe I break even and things kind of go around to normal. Maybe I get the huge smackdown and my bankroll gets decimated. In that case, I might be playing a little more online, or I might have to infuse my bankroll with some more money. I'm not giving up on this, but the truth is I'm very under-rolled for the kinds of games I'm playing at right now. So I look at this as kind of the peak of my poker career this year, and why shouldn't it be? It's WSOP time. I'm not going to throw away money, doing a WSOP buy-in, as much as that's on my bucket list, and I will do it at some point. This seems like a much more fun way to set $500 on fire, to be live streaming with the Live at the Bike guys, and I'm just so looking forward to it that even if I do lose, I'm not going to be a sore loser. I am really looking forward to just participating in it. Poker is supposed to be fun, right? We talk a lot about how much hourly can you make in poker, and can you go pro, and is it a career? And what I see more and more out there is people saying, you know what, I don't have to clearly define myself as someone who sits in a poker room 40, 50 hours a week, nor do I have to define myself as a recreational player who just kind of like jaunts in and jaunts out. Splitsuit himself on the podcast this week talks about how he plays about one session a week. And he's one of the best players in the whole Red Chip community. He's the coach, he's one of the founders. And no one would ever accuse him of being a recreational player. How much you play does not necessarily affect how good you are in the moment. Certainly volume is super, super important. And I was lucky enough to be playing online Black Friday, and I feel like that's when I kind of cut my teeth as a poker player, was in actually, putting in, I think the volume that I had was about 15,000 hands. And at that point I kind of got a feel for, how I actually played. Now a lot of online grinders will say 15,000 hands, that's like nothing, try 150,000, But you take what you can get. I do have limited time, and online poker is great because you can jump in and jump out. Last thing I'll say about online poker, because I know a lot of you guys are going to be running and getting on Coinbase and getting your Bitcoin in. You didn't realize how easy it was to get online and start playing. Still tough, even at 5 cent, 10 cent. These people are not screwing around, so you have to bring your skills. But the other thing is, at 5 cent, 10 cent, even 10 cent, 25 cent, does the money really matter? I mean, when you're talking about bankrolls for 1, 2, and then you're playing at 5 cent, 10 cent, it makes it really easy to just not care about the money. I've already mentioned the plus side, which is that you can try out your aggressive moves and try out different things. Of course, the negative side is that it opens you up to make a lot more mistakes because you just feel like the money doesn't matter. And when I go back and look at the hand history, sure enough, so many of the times that my graphic dips down, it was because I made some flippant, stupid play where I just, mentally thought, oh, okay, well, it's $10, who cares? That is just the wrong attitude. That's like a pit gaming attitude, So I'm going to be ever vigilant about that. I'm going to raise the stakes a little bit. I am going to move to 10 cent, 25 cents between now and Vegas to try and make the money feel a little bit more like it matters and take the game a little more seriously. So again, ever vigilant about tilt. Aggression is about picking spots and hand reading, so I'm going to focus on getting my hand reading skills up. And what else? I'm going to play more online poker. I'm going to go play live. It's a poker time for me. This next episode is going to be crazy because I'm going to have played more poker than I have probably since I started this strategy in action thing. So you might have an extra long video next week, but I'll cut it off here. Thanks again. This is Zac Shaw for Strategy in Action and Red Chip Poker. See you next time.